G'day YouTube, it's Shane here once again, and today I've just got back from a preview screening of Wolf Creek 2. How awesome is that? That's pretty awesome. And what I'm going to do for you guys is a non-spoiler review of the movie, and it comes out later today. So I do recommend the film. I'm just going to recommend it to a certain select audience. And possibly not to the rest of you, but I'll get to that later. Also, what I'm going to do is have a competition where you can win this Wolf Creek 2 cup, which has the movie poster on the front, the little plastic dagger, and a picture of Mick Taylor on the other side. So details of that will be in the description box below or at the end of the video. Onto the review itself. First of all, this film is filmed and set in South Australia, and the countryside is absolutely beautiful. They haven't spared any expense when it comes to cameras. They've used GoPro, they've used all sorts of cameras anywhere and everywhere, and it just looks spectacular. You may even recognize a few landmarks and familiar icons if you've driven around South Australia. That said, and the acting is fantastic. John Jarratt does a great job. All the other actors do fantastic jobs as well. You may recognize a few familiar faces. The horror aspect, and I've done this review at least 12 times now, and I always stumble over how to describe some of the horror in this film. It is a horror film. That's a no-brainer. The problem is there are different kinds of horror. Some of it's comedic, some of it is laughable, some of it is quite squeamish, some of it is quite brutal, some of it's very realistic, and it's just quite visceral, quite so I'm going to keep it short and sweet there. It is a horror film, it is graphic, there's plenty of blood and guts, quite literally, but there's humour and stuff thrown in every now and again, just to keep it tolerable. Some of it turned my stomach. What else? Cinematography, horror, the swearing. There's plenty of swearing in this film. And by swearing I mean the C word, and the C word gets used, say, 3 or 4 times. I lost count. But there's one scene, and this is not spoiler, but the C word is used and extended for about, I don't know, 5-10 seconds. I think it's the longest use of the C word that I've ever heard on film. So use your discretion as to whether you want to take younger viewers. I wouldn't recommend anybody under 15, maybe 18 preferably, and maybe not your older grandparents, relatives of that age, because I think they might be quite shocked. At the screening that I saw it, there was a group of ladies of that age, and I think they were quite confronted by what they saw. Yeah, it is quite confronting, but at the same time it's something that you've got to see. I think thematically it takes a very different approach than the first film. I think the first film shot a lot of party footage, so you got an idea of who these backpackers were and all that sort of stuff, whereas this is just gives you a very quick glimpse of that, and then it's more into Mick Taylor and his story, and you do find out a bit more about him. They flesh out the character more, so he's a bit more not ethereal bush legend, he's more human. He's more of a human sort of character. But yeah, I thoroughly recommend the film if you're into that sort of thing, if you're into horror. But once again, I don't want to go over horror again. I'll be rambling forever. Now, onto the competition. All you've got to do is 1. Be a subscriber to this channel, 2. Like this video, and 3. Leave a comment in the comment section down below that you'd be interested in this. I will be shipping this anywhere in the world. It'll be cleaned out and disinfected and all the rest of it, so it'll be safe to use, but you'll probably use it as like have it sitting on your mantelpiece or something like that. So do enter the competition, do enjoy the film. Let me know what you thought of it. I'd be willing to find out, really interested in finding out what you guys thought of the film, and I'd be really willing to read those comments and things like that. And that's all for me today. Look after yourselves. Bye for now.